Good morning, folks. It's 7:43 a.m. on the 6th month, 28th day, 2025. What I'm looking at here is the imminent disastering area that I think is pretty probable over the next few days coming. So we're going to go over this so you guys know what's going on and get a general timeline. Yeah, of these terrible totals that are coming around the first of the month. So I'm going to go over that now. I'm not going to waste much time. It looks like a bit of a soggy season as a tundra is being worked across central Queensland and out. And that moisture hits a barrier of EMF. It's going to cause this to fold. And the barrier of EMF is already in place. Get quite a lot of beaming going on out here today that's going to control the flow of this. So I don't expect this to be a very fast show today. So get your coffee ready, put your headphones on. And it doesn't say that I'm live. Yes, it does. I'm just verifying I'm live. Yep, sound is working. I can see comments. Okay, great. Let's continue. So, first things I noticed, I can go for the EMF part of this first and the geoengineering or do the forecast. Let's just run this through. Yes, I often do this a little bit in, so it gives me a little bit of a break. But I'm on a bit of a tear today. I've been very rantatious. Gonna have to be careful when I'm in public today because my comments are very sharp. Yeah, very, very sharp. All right, Perth. You see this steamer coming in? Yeah, it's going to be directed into the bite, but it's going to kick some water off towards you. Yeah, but the main low, I'm not expecting to come straight into you. Okay, you see how she shaves the corner, dissipates, and she slings her water into that high. Right? Which direction is the high going? You're going this direction. Right? But this is shut. The EMF has this shut. About the same time, low is forming off the coast of New South Wales, Queensland here, because it hit that EMF line. And the beams being done from along the coast of Grafton that are going to have to hit on Sunday to fold this out to sea, as I call it, will become quite evident. You got about 3 stations doing full-on beaming today. Taroom's beaming, Gympie's beaming. You know, even right now, I picked it up in the clouds. And I got to say, the surf is going to be fantastic along this coastline as this comes through. Wind-wise, I'm expecting some big coastal erosion and flooding at high tide times and low tide times when things aren't going to get out to sea. Okay, so be watching for this. And this is winds. This ain't gusts, right? It's not a day you're going to be out there in your walkers or your fun boat. Hey, the kite surfers, they can put on a show, that's for sure. You start over here and land over there. Land ho. Yeah, look at the gusts. It's going to be treacherous. So tie yourself off good in them marinas. You don't want no boats leaking, no petrols out. See this inland there in the 98 kilometer an hour gusts to Rigo and all that? Yeah, it's not a day you're going to want to take things lightly. And this here is the overnight hours of Tuesday in through Wednesday, early hours in the morning. Worst time to be getting one of these storms. Right, so you'll be hearing trees falling and all sorts. It's not a day you're going to want to be going through the mountain trekking that day. Replan your route. This coastline is going to be out of the question for a few days, especially for the convoy. But you're up here right now. Okay, so I'll be watching your forecast as well. So let's go right back down here to the day in question, back here on the 1st of the month. Yeah, this is your afternoon hours at about lunchtime. And Tari gets big batch of thunder and lightning. I'm expecting tornadic activity, water spouts, hail, dangerous winds, and possible tornadoes themselves. That would not surprise me, as the conditions to make them are perfect. They just are. Yeah, to recreate natural conditions. Sydney, you get your smackaroo here. This is during your morning rush hour. He's not looking good. I just backtracked. Yeah, it's very volatile around your area, so be watching out. And I'll give you more in depth and then as we get closer to that event and nail down some of these totals. So let me come back over here. Hi, New Zealand. How you doing? This storm's about fucked off. Yeah, winter time is there now. Yeah, and the next batch that comes through is going to well show that. So I'm going to zip right to it. Yeah, this is just some cold coming up from the Antarctica. But when the dregs of this that's over there comes over, you guys got another big problem. So I'm gonna zip right over to about the third. See, full-fledged storm. No, I want your winds. Womp womp. Yeah, and again, this one won't be like your last one, but it will be of significance, right? It comes through very, very, very fast. And the only way they're going to do that is to shoot a big beam up on the third through the Tasman Sea, which it's going to be a sizable one. So they might say that the sun has kicked off a solar mass ejection or an X flare, because I could predict a lie. How about the winds there, Melbourne? Yeah, I'm going to be all over the shop here. This is up here on the 5th, but I'll have you more in depth on that when the time comes. These are your gusts. Now that's your proper winds. Let's see what your gusts are going to be. Fucking hell, fucking hell, fucking hell. Yeah, not good at all. Let's see, and your stuff over here this day, yeah, this is the whole world's gust. Gust, 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 gust. Yep, that beam I was worried about over New Zealand has occurred. So for the next 48 hours, you're going to be, the mantle's extremely seismically active over the center of the island. Yes. Yeah, I noticed something. Here comes some of your gusts. So you really, that day there is the best day for surfing. Hey, let's do this. And that'll be at about 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, when you're getting that big brunt. Gives you the old smackaroo. See it? And then the line of storms comes through, Brussels town, southern suburbs of Perth, thunder and lightning. Make sure your drains are clear in the road, and you might not have as many flash floods. Flashing. Yeah, they like to blame everything but infrastructure. Until they want new infrastructure. Oh, look at the wind. Look at the rain. Yeah, this is not good. That's a proper storm. Right? But it's not I don't think it's going to be cyclone strength. But, Australia, they might suddenly decide that a cool breeze is an absolute category 5 because pussies. The rest of the world uses Saffir-Simpson scale. Yeah, it's going to be up there. I have to actually check. And what's the Australian cyclone scale? Yeah. Australian cyclone scale. Let's see. They use this one. Nah. That's Saffir-Simpson. Which one are you using? Which is your pussy scale? Because you can't do what everybody else does. 91. 91 kilometers an hour wind. When everybody else says it's 119 is a Cat 1. You see how they make your stat look worse so that they can sell climate change to you? And yours is different from the rest of the world. You and Tonga are the only one that uses this Australian tropical cyclone intensity scale. You know, of course, me to say things were cyclones in the past that you guys called cyclone, but the rest of us laugh. So, really, you've never seen a Cat 5 as far as I'm concerned. So, no. So, it'll be considered a tropical storm. I had to check that, because we stay factual. Let's make sure we're running here properly. And how you doing there, Carrie? I need only one card to finish the set. What we got here? KMs, oh God, kilometers. They're killing me with these meters of rage you guys have gotten this year. And it's going to lead to some nasty, nasty totals. It really is. So I'm going to continue to run this now because I said I'm going to do long term. And you're going to hear me agree and disagree with things. I agree with this. It has to. You know why? I said I'd show you a beam. You see, there's a beam that came down here. right here. See this beam right here is just nucleating through here, and there was one here and here. It all triangulates toward right about here. But this beam coming down your coast here, you see this through here? I did something handy. You want to see the totals they told me this morning? Oh, yeah, but I got a little graphic pulled up here of me marking that beam. Hey, so what this is the corridors of flow. The beam that came down here and through here is going to trap that moisture here to come back through here for the rest of the day and sling that out to sea. And what's coming from Perth is running into a line of EMF that came down here, and it's splitting the moisture with the main low coming over through here and having half its moisture split here and half go to this side here with an EMF block that's been put in place here. Alice Springs beamed down, and one of the next rods beamed up over here. Yeah, I suspect this is Laverton, and that did this beam here. So that's left only a couple corridors of flow. Oh, excuse me, that's your fires. It's left only a couple corridors of flow. Sorry about that there. We'll find it again. And the corridors of flow are over towards Sydney and over towards yeah, that's right. We got this. The corridors of flow that it left for the storm here is right through here. It comes through and hits this block. This here is channeling a lot of moisture between these steps. And that's the step move. Anybody who's been following me a while understands what that means. And if you don't, keep watching. I'm going to go over this a little more later on. I'm aware of a beam that came out of a next rod here that did a half pulse in this direction. I'm aware of beams from here and here, 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 and here that I seen fire off on the BOM. I just added them to this map. All right, so I could see the control of the flow. Where's the cold air going to go? A big tongue of cold air is coming up through here. Okay, so we're going to see some temperatures down in the 10s and in the 8s through here on the overnight times, which is going to help fuel big storms. Yeah, it's going to. It fuels winds as well. And New Zealand, mine is schwasticular, huh? Yeah, you got geode. So this here is why you're getting that, is all these beams say so. And because of all those beams say so, I went with this following forecast here that showed those totals that you're seeing here. And what's going on here. So Tyree, batten down the hatches, get ready. Get ready Tuesday afternoon, big smackers. Probably even through the morning hours. I think this timeline's a little bit behind how it's going to occur. Okay, so I'll update the times is again on Monday. Unless of course I start working my new job then. Because I was successful with my interview. So now I have to do induction that they call onboarding. I hate to hear what happens when they overboard. Hey, look, you got a whole bunch of thunderstorms just pinning over Lord Howe Weather Modification Island. We know how they do it. Hey, we know you and we know what you do. You control nothing. You just make us want to buy things. They make you want to buy climate change, which is more taxes on everything. Your very existence. Well, that ain't right. Existence is taxing enough. See, it's just coming right on through. Long-term wise, I'm looking at this. And that's coming in next week. Right? We'll know more about that then. But when I look long-term on this and I see a pressure set up like this, I look at the numbers. Yeah, so I'm going to go over this a little bit. So maybe a couple of you might understand it because I was asked something. So I'm going to answer your question now. Right, when you got high pressures like this, you got to look at these numbers, right? 31, 32, that's a doldrums. So that as these blip towards each other to try to equalize pressure, they act like a pump, and this one's going to suck air up like that, right? Because this is blocked, right? So the pump is closed up here, right? So that's going to bring cold air in. This turns the opposite of the rising sun, so this is coming up like that, all right? Same with this. It's bringing tropical in. So this is warm tropical coming in. I could change colors of the pen, but you're getting the idea. And it's all a numbers game because this is a 32. And high flows towards low. They're both leaning this way, and it causes a stall to happen right about here. And this is already fucking off the low down here. And this one down here is at 958. All right, it's one of the lowest in the area. So everything's going to want to pull towards it. That's wanting to go that way. That's wanting to go that way. That's a 62. There'll be a little bit of a back pull pump on this, giving some cold air up. This is what I look for. And they try to bring warm air down to melt the polar cap. They've been trying to do this for a long time. And this 33 here is going to cause a drag on that one. It's only moving one pressure is all it takes. And then they're forming in that, and then eddy is forming here with a little bit of a low. I don't expect that to last into a significance as it heads that way towards Africa, Zimbabwe and stuff. It's packing some water. It's nothing I'm going to forecast. It's all numbers. It's all physics. This is just numbers. Hot flows toward cold. But you think about it like this, density. More density toward less. A big room full of people wants to be in the room with less. The door, when it opens, which is easier to move around. What's packing you in at the door? It's hard to understand, but it's easy to come to terms with mathematically. You see the numbers there, 11 and 9? There's bare difference. They can really slow move these storms like that. And as you get on the equator, there's less Coriolis effect. It's just how that works. Whether you agree with it or not, I don't care. Physics is physics. It's like we know this is warm, wintry, and moist down here, right? And it's always come in that direction. So when these interact, they'll strip moisture from each other, exchanging dynamics. And this is what's bringing winter up to New Zealand. Right through here. And the beam is keeping that down there from going. It actually came across like that. It's a pressure game. It's all numbers. And until you get your head around the numbers, you won't understand that you are now in for, again, a long period of exactly what you just had. Yeah, this is, again, a cycle of wet, cold, then some dry, wet, cold, then some dry. Mold grows, then it stops. Mold grows, then it stops. And this is not good at all. Whoever said you was having a dry year, I beg to differ. And new snows-wise, for all you lovers of the sliding sports, the ones that are allowed to do outside. Let's give you a week worth of powder report there. That doesn't seem right. You're gonna get a dusting. You have to. Nothing of significance. So the geoengineering will be involved in making snow. Yeah, because that is a way of making snow. But Tassie, beautiful winter wonderland for this lakes area over here. There's 25 centimeters coming, and of course New Zealand full on winter. Coming to some of the fjord lands and some of these beautiful areas here. You'll be big time, but not like what you just had. Uh-oh. So with that said and with that done, you see that for those couple days there, so I know you got an event coming. And we'll cover that closer to the fact. All I know is when I looked at my world today, and this is that geostorm that's off of here, a square form to it here. See that there, and the chem bomb right there. I'll do the zoom bit. Yeah, that's right. There you go, Mr. Squiggles. Here's your minute. Look at this here. It looks like this, like a spunk right here. Like a sperm. And you get the square edges. Scalar energy. And as you zoom back, you see how many squares you actually have. The corner of this one turns on pressure on that one. Corner of this one's going to put pressure right there on that one. You can make things spin by just turning squares themselves by the viscosity of what they're bumping into. Because that edge there will have a thickness to it. So will that. So will that. Viscosity. And so the flow hits that cloud mass, will cause it to spin. If it's hot, it spins counterclockwise in that hemisphere. And if it's cold, it would spin the opposite. So this is low pressure. It's spinning cooler. And it's easy read. You can see the waveform actually coming down, pinning it. It goes on the low deck here. See it? It's kind of shimmering through here. And that flashes out. It's getting dark out in some places, so the satellite don't show as good. Look at this continual nucleation here. Something is causing the clouds to continuously form in one spot here. Maybe you got a ship or something steaming it up. Maybe EMF itself is simulating a mountain range with its waveform, causing a lift and a drop that will make clouds. Look at the waveform here. You can see the sine wave. Come on, grab it. You see the wave? My goodness, look at the chem here. You ought to see it. It is horrendous. It is horrendous. You can see the radars are on. I saw this big haze box right here, right? This big circle. And I said, something is on right here. There's a radar on. I could see it in the clouds. You know, your glitch that makes clouds. And so I did go and look. And when I turn on the Taroom up there, I'll come up with this nice nucleation here. They're going on the, it's only showing on the Doppler, because you ain't going to see Squanto when you go on here. Oh, shiza. Oh, no, you don't. You don't see nothing when you go here. When you hit the Doppler on it, though, you can see where things go towards and away from the radar and what speed. It is spiking. Pow, pow, pow. And it's exactly what's showing up. Yeah, that's a bust. So there's many ways to see. If you're lucky, you can get the temperatures and stuff 24 hours. And sometimes you'll see an uptick, an observation map ain't on here. Okay, so I'm going to turn that one off for a minute. But the thing sure shows what's going on here. Is mention what it's actually affecting the clouds. So if the BOM tells you that's a glitch, I say, is that another word for a lie? You glitching bitches. I hate lies, man. My dad used to beat me for lying. If you're lying, you're dying. So you better start trying to defeat the liars that need to be dying. That's all. See that big square there? That's all caused by EMF, and that's why you guys are going to get wet through here. They set you up. They're pulling all the water in the air out here. I don't see any signs of cloud brightening ships out here. See that pulse coming from in here? It's almost like you have a factory here that's puffing steam out. Right about where I'm pointing. Yeah, moisture injection, I call it. Horrendous chem going across the south here. Look at this. It's settling in those crabs you like to eat. Boy, are they frying you in Melbourne town. Getting fried, Frankston style. Whoa, Mexico, refried beaners. I'm tired, don't want to go. Oh, look at this crap. Yep, boom, 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 go to plums, and Adelaide gets fried. Fried wine. Ooh, only the finest Kambamko in my organic Australian products. Bzz, see the EMF going across here in the waveform? That ain't just a small bit there. Boop, boop. And without the chemical catalyst, it would never nucleate a cloud condensate. So it's the geoengineering causing the plasma clouds to appear. Sickness mix out west. Yep. They will hawk to a cloud here. Look at the dirty Sanchez. Look at one of Brooke Shields' eyebrows fell down. Boom plumes here, folks. That's chemical catalyst. Carpet bombing your own country while they got you looking at the Middle East. They're carpet bombed you. You've been chemically attacked. This whole world is being chemically attacked. From America to China. See? Squares form storms. Geoengineering is a corporate thing. Corporations have no borders. Corporation is a corpse. And what a corpse don't care about things that are alive. So you're still alive, ain't you? Act like it. Because our mother needs our help. Our mother's being choked out. She can't breathe. And it's humans' fault. So we got to undo this or it's our fault. Speak while you can. Or be silenced by asphyxiated clouds in the night. Big love, stay safe. Peace.